All right, here we are again. Kitchen Studio, Smith Lake in Coleman, Alabama. Sitting here with Dustin, fresh out of Houston, in these camo shorts, obsession shorts.
Hey, I've had these.
You didn't turkey hunt in those.
I've had these 3 years and I haven't been able to wear them. But
I thought I was going to get them. But you started losing weight.
Due to weight loss, I'm good. First time.
You doing
I had
all right?
them
You all right tonight? Good.
Yes.
Sitting here barefoot. It's been hot. Took the day off work.
Hey man, it's 4th of July week. I mean,
I know.
Even though some of us are going to work until the 4th.
Somebody told me they weren't going to work until after the 4th.
Oh, life just happened, man.
Okay, whatever.
Well, I'm excited about tonight. Got two guys in the studio, so we'll get them going. If y'all want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Buck Williams with WW Guns out of Danville, Alabama.
And I'm Clint Crockett with WW Guns out of Danville, Alabama, too.
And so I've been knowing Buck for a few years. We actually went on a buggy ride together for their hunting club. That's how we met. Yeah. And since then, I met Clint because they've done some hydro dipping and Cerakoting for me.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I see it all the time. It'll come, it'll go. I love this little gun. It's gone.
Yeah.
Love this pistol. Well, you keep them. So.
Yeah. I've got a Glock right now. I need to drop off, I think you got a handgun as well.
I got 2 or 3 that needs to be dropped off.
Now's the time.
Yeah. So, like I say, I met Buck on a hunting club ride.
Yep.
Met Clint through going down there and doing business with them and trading, and they're pretty interesting guys. And I thought it'd be a good time to bring them on. I mean, Buck's a man of many talents, master of none. I guess
Master of none. I do a lot, but master of none. I think it's about 13, almost 14 years been doing the hydrographics and the Cerakote work. I teach school full time, starting 27 years of that. Full-time football coach, drive bus full-time. I sell African hunts. I just got back from South Africa. I was over there for 28 days.
You guide as well also while you're there, right?
I guide and camp cook and truck driver and, whatever, pour a drink for the guest if that's what they want, whatever, build the fire, cook the breakfast, just a little bit of everything.
Now, Clint, have you been involved the whole time with WW Guns, or?
I met Buck. I went out to.
Somebody's got to be there to work. It sounds like.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. He's never there.
This one's going to fall right in with your turkey hunting.
Yeah, I don't see him come around turkey season, but no, I met Buck. Oh gosh, going on now 10 or 12 years ago. I went out to get work on one of my guns. And the next thing I know, he's got guns stacked up, needing somebody to tear them apart, work on them. And next thing I know, I was working there.
Clint come in about a week before turkey season. And we got to talking, and
I figured out why he hired me, because he was fixing to go to turkey season and didn't have nobody to do the work for him.
Because a week later, I handed him the key to the shop door, and I was gone.
Said, see you in a month. And a month later, at the end of turkey season, Buck came back, and shop was still there, so I guess I did all right. But I'm a retired police officer out of San Diego, California, born and raised here in Alabama, moved back out here after I retired, and enjoy meeting you guys.
Yeah, man.
Dustin, we met you, did a couple of guns for you.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to
you walked into my house and met me.
Yeah, walked into Anthony's house here today, and we're sitting here. And I've been here 15 years. And this is the first time it's the closest I've ever seen Smith Lake, because everybody brags about it, but I could never find it.
So what area do you live in?
I live in Decatur.
Okay, you're up in Decatur.
You closer to Tennessee River.
Yeah, I can find the Tennessee River.
Yeah, that's not hard if you go north.
All this come about kind of accidentally. I went to a taxidermist friend of mine to get a deer worked on, and I looked over in the corner and I asked him what the tank was. And he told me it's a hydrographics tank. And he said, like the camo that they put on shotguns and rifles. He said, I was doing deer heads with it, and he got so busy with just his regular mounts and everything, he couldn't do the hydro heads. And he offered that tank to me for $500. I thought that was a great deal. Well, about 4 weeks into it, I was pulling hair out because I couldn't get it to work right. Anyways, I loaded up and went all the way almost to Miami to TWN school and got my training there. And after that, it started getting
Because that hydro
a little
dipping,
easier.
you actually kind of you got to put it in there and do it a certain way. I mean, is it manual or
It is.
Ours is.
Yeah.
You can get some fancier stuff, but we're simple folk.
One of the things that was always trouble was getting the activator sprayed on the film properly. But I had a guy that helped me set up a spray bar, and you just move the bar across it.
Now that's the guy from Tennessee. You told me he was
yeah,
getting you straightened out on
Mossy
that.
Oak.
Yeah.
So that was another thing too. I went through the TWN school, then we went through Mossy Oak certification. I'm certified through them, Clinton. and I
Well, we
both.
bugged them to be pro staff, but they won't even look
you-
at us.
you
Once
give-
again,
Give him a shout out real
hey,
quick.
Mossy Oak, we're here.
Just
Cuz,
give us a
Toxie,
call.
hey, gamekeepers, anybody.
Just give us
We'll
a
wear
call.
your clothes. We already buy them. All right, I guess that's my
Was that your shout?
public
for-
service announcement, begging announcement
We'll,
tonight.
we'll put up a big sign on the side of our building for you.
There you go. That's what I need. I'm gonna hire an airplane to fly over there.
Now I know last time I was there, y'all were actually working on doing even a bigger tank.
I've got one. I need to finish the pumps on it, but it'd be big enough to do buggy parts and whatever it may be.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, the wrong.
Right now we can do.
I'd like to see your buggy in
Four-wheelers,
New
but-
Bottom Land. That'd be beautiful.
Yeah.
New bottom
Yeah.
lane? No,
Wait a
it'll be
minute.
green leaf.
I know the story there.
I was gonna say he's not gonna do. It's gonna be green leaf.
I know, but the New Bottom Lee's so much prettier.
Anthony is the new bottom lane guy, and I'm old school. He said he had to wear that back in the day.
I wore it when it was
So-
original.
But you know, the Mossy Oak guys up there, they're in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and that's where that's where I actually went to school and played college ball as Middle Tennessee State. But they're just a couple of miles down the road from the campus, and we go up once, twice a summer. And
Oh, easily,
and go up and Tony and the guys up there, they're so good. They sit down, they go through everything, new things that they've got going on.
Techniques.
New procedures. It's just they're really good. to work
because you
with.
can't dip in Moss Oak unless you're.
You
go through their school, right?
Used to be you had to be, but now they've moved into the market of their patterns. Anybody can buy them. But when I got mine, we were
had to be-
actually licensed through them.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure y'all get their signature of approval
Oh, yeah,
because you've been
yeah,
through
yeah.
their training program, and
Well, and we still have film patterns that we can get, but we can only put it on
Certain weapons.
certain Mossy Oak designated items. You could come in and say, Clint, I'd really like to put that on my shotgun, and I say, I can't do that for you, Dustin. It's got to go on a Mossy Oak approved item.
So if
I
say-
didn't know that.
They've
just
got-
hypothetical, if Mossy Oak didn't approve Winchester, you couldn't put it on a Winchester. I'm just saying that. I'm just
Well,
giving a
if
names
it's
or something.
approved,
Yeah, or you know
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or is it a certain pattern
Just
of
certain
theirs?
patterns.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I thought it
mostly,
was
yeah.
actually the weapon or something.
No, it's mostly the aquatic
What's
patterns.
the one at Academy? There's a camo you see a lot of clothes of at Academy, and it's a Mossy Oak pattern, but it's one of their.
It's for,
It's Academy's Mossy Oak. So okay,
and that's proprietary to them.
yeah.
okay,
And-
okay. So they're paying Mossy Oak, so
for
nobody
a
else can do it
pattern, right.
but them.
Absolutely.
I guess
Okay.
it's like that turkey hunting outfit you got from
Nomad.
Nomad.
Oh,
They've
yeah,
got
yeah.
their own Mossy Oak pattern that's not out.
Yeah.
And it's a great look.
Yeah,
I
same,
love it,
Same,
yeah.
same thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Well, that
Okay.
explains that then. I didn't know.
I
that
thought
you
they might
played.
have a secret pattern.
I didn't know you
about.
played football at Middle Tennessee. That's something you probably should have put in there if you had the old glory days.
That was a while back.
Yeah.
about 30 years ago.
Well, before we get to what grade do you teach, or grades, or
Well,
I mean,
for 22
Keep it
years, I was a 10th grade health teacher, and then they moved me down to the elementary.
Oh, my.
Elementary PE, and I
Ooh.
loved it.
you like
I
it?
love
You like
my-
it better?
I love
Well,
it,
I guess you
yes.
don't have as many smart alecks at elementary school.
I love my little kids.
It's just the screamers.
And the little kids, it's just you can be having a bad day and one of them runs up and gives you a hug out of the blue and your day just
They show much love.
No, they do. I mean, well, you
And-
just saw my little 5-year-old granddaughter. That's what she got up this morning. I came upstairs. I get up early, so she just come running up.
yeah.
Hey, I love you, Pawpaw. I mean, that's all I needed to hear.
That's it.
She's supposed to call me Pops, but she'll call me Pawpaw.
Everybody calls you Papa.
Well, I know. Well,
At that age, they're still fun, and you can you feel like you can kind of help them, and
They're innocent.
And a lot of times,
They don't know anything.
That's right.
high school age kids they're hard to work with sometimes. So, but anyway,
No, I was just wondering. I mean, some of my favorite people in my whole life was some of my teachers.
but I was down there for the last 4 years, and then right at I don't know about 4 days of school left, I found out they transferred me back to the high school.
Oh.
back to my health classes. So
This year?
So you don't have a
Wow.
choice. They just move you when they want to move
they
you.
just moved me.
Wow.
Being tenured, they have to keep you a job.
Yeah. But you don't get to say, I'm like it here and I'm not moving.
No, I told them that I loved where I was, but they're the boss, I'm the employee. So,
Well, you ain't got
move
many
on.
more years, maybe.
4 more.
So you've got to go an end date.
Four more give me 30 years of service. So that's what we're working on.
I don't know what that means behind your shoulder. I don't know if that means okay or come that
Toss the
way.
salt over your
Hey,
shoulder or
I'm the camera remote. If y'all see little clips here and there, I don't care if I'm in it.
Yeah,
I just
get a little bit.
I felt like I was back at home growing up. I was a remote control there too when I was a
Yes, sir.
kid.
Go turn the antenna.
Oh, lots of times, many times.
Be the antenna.
Let me
turn.
tell you too.
You
we
must
had
have
a-
been
one of
rich.
them-
You had an antenna.
If you'll remember back in the might have been late 70s, early 80s, the big giant C-band satellite dishes, when they first come out, they just had a crank on them with file marks. The guy that set them up put a file mark. Guess who was that remote? Oh, Anthony.
Yeah,
Move it up to SATCOM 3 or whatever it was, and you just did it. So
had a
I'm
guy,
used to it. So any time I'm ready.
Had a guy tell me that I didn't have any feelings about anything. I said, yeah, I lost them when I was growing up. I held the flashlight for Daddy working on the car.
Oh,
I have no feelings
Yeah.
because he destroyed them.
you never could hold that light right.
No, never.
Never.
You know, and you say you're not going to do stuff like that with your kids, but me and Hunter, he's held a light for me a few times. I'm like, son, if you don't put that light right here where I need it, quit
And
looking.
not in my eyes.
Well, I can tell you the last time I helped my dad do a little carpentry work, he was standing on the ladder and he said, hand me the hammer. And he put his arm down and I hit him right in the funny bone with it. I just kind of slung it up. And
Not good.
oh,
Not good.
no, thank God he was hurting too bad to whoop me. I got away. But he didn't ask me that no more. But I did hold the light and get cussed a lot. So, yeah,
No.
I think we've all done that.
Which I know y'all do Cerakote as well.
We do.
So,
And that's another one. Clint and I, we flew all the way to Oregon and went through their school. So we're certified through Cerakote as well.
Well, then explain for people that don't know the difference between hydro dipping and Cerakote, and or what's the advantage over the other, or
One is water transfer imaging,
Yeah.
where you take a film that's got multicolors on it and you spray the part in a base color. You dip it in the water after it's been activated and part comes out with the camo on it. Cerakote is a 2-part ceramic based, or you can use the air cured, which is single part, and it's a sprayed on. And we can do custom patterns with it, but it's hard to do stuff like mossy oak patterns or real tree. We can get close.
But not exact.
Yeah, not exactly. And then the Cerakote's baked at a temperature for a certain amount of time.
and the Cerakote I'm supposing will hold up much better.
It is more durable. Any firearms coating, after a while, it's going to wear.
Oh, I know
they
that.
all wear.
I'm rough on my stuff.
Yeah, your bluing.
Anybody is that
hydro,
uses it.
Cerakote, it all wears.
Yeah.
Like doing guns, my personal guns, I prefer to do my metals in the Cerakote, and then the stocks I'll do in hydro.
right.
Now, with turkey hunting guys and duck hunting guys, they want their whole guns camoed a lot of times, and it holds up. It's like auto body. Paint job's only as good as the prep work that you do on that weapon, and that's one thing that a lot of people may not understand is the prep that goes into doing the coatings that we do. When they come in, we've got cleaning tanks. But first, Clint he'll disassemble. And when I say disassemble, they're down to every pin, every spring, everything. Every piece is laid out. And then they all get cleaned. Another thing we do is run all your parts through a hydrosonic cleaner. So when it goes back together, everything's like it's supposed to be. but it's a lot of time, a lot of hand taping, a lot of hand prepping. It takes time.
And I can imagine, like on a pistol with all kinds of pins and switches, because you're dipping each one of those as well. I mean, anything that's exposed.
Well, any internal springs, disconnects, sears, triggers, we don't.
Yeah, no. I'm just talking about anything that's exposed on the
All the
outside.
fire control,
of it, yeah.
outside fire controls, your safeties, your thumb.
Yeah, right, exactly.
1911 thumb lever,
Like-
all that.
okay.
gets-
And
yes.
then even on guns that are full camo, a lot of times we like doing any kind of controls, like the bolt, the charging handle.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
do that in Cerakote. It holds up better, and then anything that's maybe friction parts or moving parts, the Cerakote would work better.
And while we've got them apart for people, we've countless time on, especially our duck hunters. I think they're the hardest on their shotguns than even turkey hunters. I would say.
They're used for boat paddles and
Yeah,
they-
well, I was going to say they're in a lot more water than we are.
right. And
Unless
we
I'm caught in
find
a
so much
thunderstorm.
for them once we get them apart to hydro dip them or Cerakote them. We'll find damaged parts. We bore scope all the barrels. Everything we take in, we bore scope it. We take digital photos for them. They can see a before and after of everything that we do on them. And
got a weapon that come in the other day. And Clint took it apart, and I got back from my trip from Africa, and I'm looking on the table. There's a red carpenter pencil and a twig. That was the plug in it.
that was the plug that it's an old Remington 16
Well, you
gauge.
know what? I use sticks and number 2 pencils.
Hey, whatever
almost
keeps
my
the
whole
game warm
life.
off your
Right
back.
before turkey season, you had to find dove season, you had to put a plug in
Yeah,
there.
yep. And,
I've
and whatever
seen a
keeps the
lot,
game
but-
warden happy.
But never the 2-piece.
Well, now I've never done a 2-piece plug. Well,
Yeah, it was the first. I had to take a picture of it because that's the first time I've ever seen that.
I knew when I was down there, there was something wrong with a barrel or something on that duck hunter's gun. You said that.
Oh, yeah, the
y'all had to
Benelli.
call the guy and give him the bad news.
Oh, yeah.
had a swell in it.
Right at
It was
the-
a Benelli, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a Benelli, and it was right at the choke seam.
And
Well, see, now that's weird because I've got a Franchi Infinity, and it swells out. The 20 gauge, the barrel's actually
Right.
bells, I guess,
Right.
That's to accept the choke.
enough meat
To do the
for the choke.
choke.
But
Correct. This was a balloon.
went,
so
and it went.
he must have had a plug or something. Something happened somewhere he didn't know about.
A wad stuff.
Yeah,
something. He double fed.
and he got lucky.
Yeah.
And,
Really?
and we had got it. I had done the stocks on it, got it prepped down. He sprayed the action on it, and as soon as he laid the first coat on the barrel, we both seen it.
And we had another guy that using digital photography, I looked at his threads on his choke, on his shotgun, and I told him that, the threads aren't looking good. Might look at getting a new barrel. He called me up at the end of this season and said, I've been shooting my chokes halfway across the countryside. So he says, I need to get a new barrel. So we got him a barrel. So there's things that we can find when we work on the guns, and we do offer yearly cleaning services too, that people can bring their guns into.
That's
us.
good to know. Yeah, that's real good. See, I've been trying that gun I was just telling you about. It's set up with fiber optics and all, but I use a red dot. I'm looking for just a 26 inch? What is it?
24.
24 inch vented rib barrel. Frenchie's been out of, or Franchi. Well, I grew up calling them Frenchies, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. And there's so much in demand, apparently. I was hoping I could find somebody to trade that bought one that didn't, whatever.
Right.
But I'm on their email list. I get up, I didn't even tell you this. I got up a couple of weeks ago, and I had an email that barrel's available because I was looking for it in bottomland. Well, it don't matter. It don't come. You can't even get it blued because I know I
Right.
could get it dipped.
We can take care of it.
I
some
immediately hit it out of stock. They done sold out between the time I went to bed and I got up and checked my email next morning. They'd all got ordered, and then I started checking all the other suppliers, thinking, these guys like you or whatever that's needing barrels or sell barrels or whatever they are, they might have some, still can't find it. Because that's what I just want to get rid of the. Mine's got. It's got rear sights and front sights. Well, I don't use them. I shoot a red dot. So.
That's
And then I
what-
could go to a real low profile mount. But yeah, it's just weird. I can't come up with that barrel nowhere.
It's across the gun world, though. It's not just I call them Frankies, but it's
Yeah.
just,
Well, I don't know. I mean, grew up calling them Frenchies and then Franchies. And
I heard people call them
Frankies.
Frankies.
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You can't say it right. Why can't? It's like Leopold. I grew up calling it Leopold. Then they started calling it Leopold. Now I hear in the back, mainstream media is calling them Leopold again. So I'm going back to
I just call them Loopies.
well,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just somebody tell me how to say it and I'll say it.
Hey, are we good?
Yeah,
So
As long as we all know what we're talking about, that's all that matters.
that's right. If you call a gun shop and tell me, I need one of them Frenchy barrels, they know what you're
they know what
talking
you're
about.
talking
They
about.
know,
know-
we
they
know what
know
you're talking
exactly.
about.
And they, you know what they tell you? We ain't got none.
We ain't got none.
We ain't got none. Sorry.
That's what the gentleman found out with his Benelli too, that the price of a new barrel versus a new shotgun.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
that's
crazy.
what
That
we've
24-inch barrel is nearly $400 for me.
These were $700.
$700 for a
some of the
Benelli barrel.
cheapest ones we could find.
That's crazy.
And again, we don't worry about what's on it, whether it's blue,
yeah.
bottomland, whatever, because we're going to make it match our customer's gun no matter what. But that's the
Just try to pull the microphones up, or just a little bit. I noticed that you lay way back. I got you turned up. You was up, and then you're back. So.
Okay.
I'm new to this stuff.
Well, I'm new. We're all new. But this will be what 19 in.
I think so, which it's not bad. It's
Nah,
considered-
we get used to it. Once you figure out everybody screws up, it don't make no difference no more.
Yeah,
Listen, I've talked about taking dumps in the woods. I mean,
It's like
my
the gun
toilet paper
shop.
flying out of a cedar bush in Tennessee. I mean, it's been heck. Last week we was on colonoscopies, I think. So
yeah, yeah, we talked about that last
So
week.
so yeah.
But it's like the gun shop. It's you learn every day. And you mentioned a while ago about dipping this part or not dipping that part. That's a lot of the learning curve. You learn what you can coat and what you can't coat.
Right.
Those pistols, those 1911s.
Yeah, we used to do
had
some work for a company up out of Tennessee that was hand fitting matched 1911s, and we went through a learning phase with them. They wanted everything coated, and even though we spray Cerakote at 1 mil, approximately 1 mil thick,
But
they had to change their fitting process because they would have to go back through a lot of work. 'cause
so tight tolerance.
they'd send the
No,
dry parts
okay,
down
so
to
they
us.
had to go back and remachine to
Right.
make it fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and that's things that they didn't know and we didn't know.
That tells me though they're doing something right.
Oh,
I
they
mean,
were- They're very nice. Unfortunately, Tony has passed away and left us, but he made some beautiful 1911s at the time.
And they were made from the same stainless steel that they used on the Abrams tanks.
Yeah,
oh wow, really?
Interesting.
yeah. He was.
So what he buys like surplus part or is
No,
it
just
just steel or
same brand
stu-
steel.
same
Yeah.
same grade and
same
everything?
thing.
Okay,
Same
I didn't know. Maybe I think that'd be pretty cool though. You get a piece of armor or something, you could make a whole weapon out of it.
Yeah, that'd be killer.
They were nice pistols. They really were.
So, Buck, I want to talk a little bit about, definitely, let's talk Africa. Because
Okay.
I know you just got
Okay.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm interested in that myself.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. You were gone again for a month.
Oh, that's who handles the business while he's gone out?
I do.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah,
I was over for 27 days, 27 or 28 days this trip.
So when did you leave? You leave once school's out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we flew out.
Oh, he left a long time before school was out, but he didn't actually go.
Okay. Okay.
I had bags packed for like a month before I left, but I think we headed out on the 29th, 28th or 29th. I'd back to my son Buckley and his special needs. There was a organization called Kids Outdoors, and they take disabled kids on hunting trips, fishing trips. They just do lots of things with them, and was at one of their events, and an African hunt come up. It's been 9 years ago, I think, and I got to looking at it, wanting to go, kinda, and anyways, another guy, he won the bid on it, and the lady that runs Kids Outdoors, Carol Clark, she called me a few days later and said that he didn't want it, and asked if thought I could afford it or whatever. But anyways, I did, and that's how the Africa stuff got started.
How many years ago was that?
That was 9. I
9
think.
years ago.
And
So you've been
I've
every
been-
year
no,
since
I've
then?
been 3 trips.
3 trips. Okay.
3 trips right now. Went last year was second, then this year's third. Already got plans for next year for Cape Buffalo, and then 2026. While I was there this time, my PH buddy got 6 damaged animal control permits for elephant.
Oh, really?
We're going to shoot elephant in 26.
That should be interesting.
Zimbabwe.
And people don't understand, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but these villages, they really prosper, and the animals are more protected that are hunted. That, I mean, you know, instead of being poached.
There's nothing
Yes.
that goes to waste.
Right. What I'm saying is, if that money wasn't coming in,
Our hunting dollars are conservation for them.
And it's not just the United States dollars.
right? No, it's all over the
worldwide.
world. Yeah, I understand. I mean, but a lot of people go, "Oh, they're going to shoot an elephant or a Cape buffalo or whatever."
Right.
You know,
But it's like these elephant permits he got. You know, they're problem elephants that are, you know, they come through their villages, they tear their homes up, they destroy their crops,
Yep.
they bust their waters, but they're animal control.
And they've tried other means of keeping these elephants
They'll
in
try
these,
to scare them off and don't work. They come
when
right back.
all else fails.
well, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can't have an elephant come into your house.
That's a little hard to see.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and they're deadly. I mean, you can see it, but just from the ones that go crazy out of these circuses and stuff around that you don't want a wild elephant running through your village.
The last day of our trip, the last night, we stayed at Pilanesberg National Park, and we went out on the tours. When you rent a room for the night, you get 2 tours: a 3-hour ride at the evening and a 3-hour ride in the morning. And on that trip, we had elephant come right by us. Could have reached out the truck and touched them. Had a leopard right off the back end of the truck, right at dark. We got spotlights on it, watching it. The Cape buffalo we seen lion there. Got to see the big 5 and the dangerous 6 all in one trip to that park.
That's pretty
But
cool.
on the internet right now, there's a video out about the truck that got attacked by an elephant, and it was in Pilanesberg.
I want to say I've already saw that once. Yeah.
A big Tusker. He hits a green truck from the front and lifts it twice. That was in the same
So
park.
that's the same park you were in.
That would have happened if you and I would have been on the tour.
I'm not going to Africa with you. I can't even go out west without tornadoes and hailstones and everything else. So I don't know about Africa with you. I'm afraid to go to Hawaii. Really, I got thinking about those volcanoes erupting.
And that is on the Big Island.
I
It's
know.
active. Yeah.
So now, when you're in Africa, how do you move around different
We did.
areas?
We
So
moved.
you were there how many days?
concession.
20,
27, 28 days.
And so you might be in this part of, and then for a certain animal and then move somewhere else, or
we got several different concessions that we move to and hunt, and he tries to break it up between kind of a mountain area that we hunt, and then we go into the bottom part of the Kalahari, the desert area. That's where we hunted lions this time. It was on a 8 square mile property that we hunted lions on.
so how many people you generally see out there when you're out there?
Very few. The landowners, his workers, and there'd be small villages.
So it's
here and
pure
there.
wild. I mean, for the most part.
Now, the biggest majority of the South Africa hunt, it is fenced properties. But like I said, the one we were on there is 8 square miles.
Yeah, that's
Try to find a lion in 8 square miles. We drug roads every afternoon before dark, and then we'd ride them the next morning with their little tracker on the front. And I finally got to see
wait, a tracker sit what like a
a
man?
guy. Yeah,
He sits
David.
on the hood out
He-
there somewhere.
He sits on the hood.
Tell me he's got a seat he sits in.
Nope.
Man, see,
It's not like the old Hatari movie.
that's what I was thinking about. Hatari. That's my favorite African movie of all time. It's in here. I've bought it. It's mine. I've got the DVD downstairs.
There you go.
He sits.
That's what I was thinking. I was exactly thinking that when I asked the question.
He sits on the hood and he watches for tracks. And then when we run across tracks, you're off the truck with shooting sticks.
Now, how fast
and
are you
him.
moving? Can he? I mean, is he that good that you're tracking along pretty good? I mean, trucking down the road.
All the times that I've been over there, I finally got to see what you hear about the African trackers. My line, he tracked her for over 4 hours.
So once he sees this thing cross the road or whatever, then
Tracks
y'all
on the
stop
road.
and you're actually out there following this.
Yep.
And is he that good that he knows that thing crossed the road 4 hours? Well, you know how pretty it's going to be between this time and that time.
And the way a lot of these are laid off, they're in big blocks.
Yeah.
So you drag the blocks, and then we go and we ride and we look for tracks, and we get an idea of what block that they're in.
It took me a little while to understand it's not like the old Tarzan movies that
Yeah.
you used to watch as a kid, where they were just out in the wild. These are actual
This
controlled hunts.
this
basically.
tracker has worked for this guy for I think he said 17 years. But I can show you a picture of their Land Cruiser, 4-door Land Cruiser that we hunted off of. And one day they had a lion come out and attack the truck, and it hit the front part of the truck where David sits, and he had to roll out of the way.
Is that
That's
teeth
lion.
marks?
That's lion teeth.
You see that? Holy crap! That's a big set of jaws too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can see. Whoa, that's monstrous. I mean, did you get a good look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was it was something. While I was there, I shot a lioness, and like I said, we tracked her for a little over 4 hours, and we'd come around some bushes, and David, he was in front, and I seen him drop to the ground, and all I could hear was him screaming, "Shoot!" And I'm looking, and I glance, and she's 15 steps in a tree.
Wow.
And these things are going to kill you. I mean, they're ready to.
Yeah, they're angry.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean,
So-
every time I've seen, these exciting videos, they're charging most of the time or whatever. They're ready to charge.
I was on that hunt, and then I was backup shooter on two more hunts. I was carrying a 470 Nitro, 500 grain bullets.
That's what you showed me.
That's the round I showed you earlier.
We got to get. I'm going to take a picture of that
That's a beast.
before we get
And then
back out of here.
one of the hunts that I was back up on, it was kind of, I'm not going to say uneventful, but it went like you plan on it. The other one was a lioness hunt, and again, she was wounded. Guy made a marginal shot. She was wounded, and when we finally got up on her, she was at 15 yards in some bushes, and we couldn't see her. And then the next thing we see is her tail coming up, and the bush explodes.
15 yards in front of you.
15 yards.
When you say explode, it exploded you guys.
She's coming out of the bush, and we all emptied on her and took care of business.
Kind of rethinking the Africa thing. I don't know if let me find me a zebra to shoot or something. Maybe I can handle
I
that.
like to hunt things that can't hunt me. But on the same
there's-
note, if you're there, if you're in country and you're there, anything could happen.
Anything
Well, I've
can
got
happen.
a friend that goes. He's been him and his daughter's been, and I think they're going back. They may have went back this year. I don't know, but I mean, you get so many animals usually on your hunt,
right.
and
I've become really good friends with my PH buddy over there. He comes in. He'll stay a couple of weeks with me during January, February when he's doing his shows here in the state. So
when you say pH, what's pH?
professional hunter.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
they're all
Well, I mean, I'm just
Yeah, they're
for everybody
all,
that don't know what we're talking about.
Right.
they have to go through a pretty long course. And then they've got their regular PH license, and then they have to work towards their dangerous game part of it as well. So it's,
Yeah, there's different steps. They just don't
Yeah.
get to take you out and hunt lions the first
Well, I hope not. I want my guy to have. I want him to be that like at the tracker. I've been doing it 17 years. Yeah.
yeah.
And we've never lost
I
a
don't want to
client.
go. Hey, I'm a rookie. I mean,
We had one get scratched up, but we hadn't lost one.
Yeah, that'd be scary.
And over there too, my guy, he takes care of a lot of charities. A lot of the meat that we shoot is donated to local charities. He takes care of an orphanage. Also, there's a rehab house for men, drug addict rehab house. While we were over there, we went and bought the metal for their medical facility that they're building. They've got individual rooms, so when they come in, if they're on heroin or whatever, they can put them in a room and
Kind of
house
dry
them.
them out.
Yep.
sounds like the same problems we have here. I guess.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
So your meat, let's say like the Cape Buffalo, you don't bring any of that
You don't get to-
home.
you don't get to
get to
bring
bring it
any.
home, but you can bring home. Does they have to be mounted over there before you ship them in?
There's a
or-
couple of ways that they do that. They can do what they call dip and ship. They take and they process your hides and they disinfect them, and they can ship them here, and you can get them mounted, or you get them mounted at the taxidermist there, and then
and you just fly them back like anything else.
on the ship.
Oh, you want them on a ship.
Yeah, it's cheaper.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I can see that. I mean,
Yeah.
How can you be in a hurry anyway? I mean,
Yeah, it ain't going
it
anywhere.
seems like to me it would probably be less chance of getting damaged anyway if
And
it's
it takes-
packaged up right. You know how airplanes are; they can break a steel ball.
It takes
Yep.
about a year for them to get them processed, and then you're a couple of months, once they're processed to get them here.
So, you've been to Africa?
No, I have not.
Yeah, well, you have to stay and work. I'm sorry.
Yeah, one of us has to work.
Somebody's got to finance the trips, I guess.
yeah.
So yeah, keep the lights on.
The also a lot of the things that's harvested. That's what we cook for the clients. So we eat most of everything. At least parts of it. Let them experience that.
So what's the
Even-
craziest thing you've eaten?
I ate lion this time.
You did eat it.
Yeah.
What's it taste
Didn't
like?
you cook you said y'all cooked the heart?
The backstrap.
Backstrap. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
It's
I might eat a little lion backstrap.
it's
I mean, try it anyway.
Tastes like chicken.
yeah.
That's what everybody says. Anyway, everything's chicken.
Best pork
Yeah.
chop I've ever had.
We
Tastes just
did
like chicken.
we fried it, and it was real similar to a pork chop
Okay.
texture and taste. Pork chops, what I thought, but
Are they big like a cow backstrap would be, or more like a deer, or if you're just comparing it to something?
more along the lines of an elk backstrap.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Okay. Yeah.
that's what I-
Okay.
Like there we are frying it,
Okay.
and
Pretty cool.
then if I can find it, I've actually got a picture of it where I cut it out in the cooler room. But it's real similar to, like I said, texture of a pork chop, and
Flavor of one too, or
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Well,
So what kind of weight did this lion you killed have? I just,
my female was probably 280, 300. One of the big males that was harvested, he was over 4.
400
that's
pounds.
amazing.
That's unbelievable when you think about a 300 pound like that bug you killed, 300 something pounds. Can you imagine a lion?
This
I mean,
was
it's a cat. I mean,
that's
you
a
don't
lot of
think
force
about
coming
them.
after you.
This was another thing that I got to do with my PH while I was there. Got to dart and transport a lion. Now, she's not completely asleep there. Watch her come up.
That'll make you jump.
We're in the pen.
Is that you?
That's my PH.
Oh, okay,
there.
was it? Okay.
Yeah, I was, but I darted
He's got
her.
good reflexes.
I
That's
darted her about 10 minutes before that, and we got to load her up and transport
So y'all like relocated it
her
to
to a different
park
facility,
or something? The whole,
breeding facility.
oh, breeding facility. Okay.
Well, the PH Aubrey, he was out here 2 or 3 years ago and doing all of his shows, and we carried him out to Sheldon's, the local
Right.
store.
Y'all
around
been to
here.
At Moulton.
Shelton's?
Yeah, in Moulton.
Love Shelton.
Yeah,
Okay.
Got to
Yeah.
get you some Sheltons.
Yeah.
We were out there standing around talking. He was trying on different jackets, and he pulls his shirt off, and he's trying his jacket on. He's got this big old scar coming around the side of him. And we look at him and go, "Oh, that's where my lion bit me." And there was a lady about 2 aisles over, and her jaw hit the ground when he said, "Lion bit me." She turned around and looks. "Oh, yeah, he's from South Africa. It's okay. He raises lions."
Oh wow. That's a set of cutters on that baby right there.
That's the business end. Of
Yes,
it.
it is. That's from the side you don't want to be seeing, not in your face anyway. Wow.
Got another one.
So does he come to the States and does the same shows every year?
Usually every January he's out, and he'll be down in this neck of the woods for 2 or 3 weeks, and he'll stay out at the place in Danville with us. And
So he won't be here like for the deer expo. You know, I see safari people out there.
that's what Buck does.
That's what
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's-
While
that's
you're
a-
working at the shop.
While I'm still
okay, all
working at
right.
the
I
shop.
get it now. I'm getting
Yeah,
it. I'm
that's
catching
another
on.
You
thing.
know what's
that-
going on now.
I travel around and help him with the shows.
Okay.
here. Now this is that big male lion I just showed you the front of. Gives you an idea of really how big
My
they are.
God, that's 2 men high. That thing's 12 feet longer
It's-
belongs
it's
to him. Yeah, I mean stretched out,
That's crazy.
but his body's got to be 8 feet long.
And
When they're stretched out legs,
The size of the feet's amazing too. Like
Yeah.
how big the track is.
Hey, and you heard we got all the doubters got a mountain lion in Alabama. They done found him. They even the fish and game departments done said it was real.
really.
Yep,
Really?
they got.
They finally admitted.
Well, I mean, somebody finally got a picture they couldn't refute.
Couldn't dispute.
It's down
huh?
South Alabama somewhere, but they got it. Because I, you know, listen, I don't doubt anything. I ain't never seen one, but I'm not saying they're not here. When you got them in Florida and you got them in Georgia and they're up in Arkansas somewhere or whatever, and I
I've
think
seen
they
them
just
in
had one in
downtown.
Mississippi get killed not too long ago on the road or something. But
I've seen him
Why
in
would-
downtown little towns in California in the mountains.
Yeah. Oh, well, they're bad out
Walking
there.
downtown.
I found it. There's the back strap out of it,
Okay. Wow. That's a big old piece of meat.
and
Boy,
then behind it you can see where I cut it out in just a second.
what's real red or
Yeah.
real dark red?
You know, the other thing that Buck's really big into is the kids outdoor stuff.
Yes,
That's what got him into
that.
Africa.
That's
So
how
that
I
is-
got.
so that got you exposed to Africa as doing the.
That's how I got tied into.
Well,
it.
talk us
Tell us
a
about
little bit more
Buckley.
about the Buckley and how all this tied together and what all you do and I guess still doing.
Well, let's see. Started out at a Buckmasters
Convention.
down in Tuscaloosa. A guy
Don't
knew
wanna go that
we tried to drink one night with a ex-Army Ranger sniper.
Oh, good luck.
Oh, it was
You can't hang with them kind of
It
guys.
didn't
no
turn
luck.
out well.
My ex-father-in-law was a colonel.
did not end well.
You can't hang with them. That's all they do.
It didn't turn out well.
I have bowed to his greatness.
But anyways, that night at that's where the African thing come up, and then I spoke to Miss Carol Clark, and anyways, found out that she run an organization called Kids Outdoors that helps disabled kids go on hunting and fishing, and that's kind of how all that got started up. And they've sent my son. He's been to Texas on a black buck hunt, Florida on a gator hunt. Where'd we go? Virginia
Virginia
last
for a
year
black
on
bear.
a black bear hunt. They've just sent him all over the place, and it's a great organization. They do a lot of things for the kids. Then on the return side of that, we've coated guns. We've donated guns to them to raffle off. Ott at Better Built, they there for 6 or 7 years. They built a trailer every year and donated it to them to help raise money to send the kids to do stuff that sometimes maybe they can't afford.
Where's this organization based out of?
Calera.
Calera.
It's in Calera, Alabama.
I'll be dang.
And now these places you guys go, is it like just private people's property that donates a hunt? Or?
Most of the time it is.
So, I mean-
and sometimes outfitters donate.
Yeah,
hunts.
yeah, I know.
The Gator guys were an
Yeah,
outfitter.
yeah. But then too, once you start going to all these places, I don't know. Have you ever noticed how small the hunting world really is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we went down to Florida where he gator hunted at. I met all those people down there, and then I don't know, 2 or 3 years later, we went to South Dakota on a mule deer hunt, and I get up there, and I start meeting people that know the people that we were with in Florida
Right.
that are good buddies that come up there and hunt. But it's just everything. The hunting world is small when you really get into it.
It is. We actually, when we were at the NWTF, we were getting lunch, and I told Anthony, I said, "That's our guide from South Dakota." And
Yeah,
he said,
yeah.
or one of the guys, and he said, "Hey, look," and he said, "It is." And
That's
I
old
said,
Foster Barlow.
and I said, "Man, who would have thought?"
And one of the big things out of all the years I've been doing the gun shop, it's the biggest thing that I've got from it is the people that I've met along the way. You meet really good people, and that's one of the big things.
Hunters tend to be pretty decent people.
Sometimes
do.
People don't realize that hunters are probably more conservationists
Oh, they are.
than the average conservationist.
You just,
they want the animals to be taken care of and the
Well,
and the
yeah. I
grounds.
mean, without the animals, you can't hunt.
right.
I mean, I heard Cuz Strickland say this on one of his podcasts. You want to save an animal, tell a hunter he can hunt it. If it, they will do the work to bring that animal back to get it to a huntable population.
Right.
And it's like in Africa, not this time, but the trip before, I culled a female giraffe off of a farm we was on, and I caught a little slack about it from especially some people.
There was a
at
lady
school.
killed one a few years ago. Boy, she caught.
Tess Halley.
Yeah, she caught all
yeah.
kinds of crap.
She's real good friends. I'm in another little organization, Rack's Adventure. It's a bunch of guys from Dakota and some from Georgia, but they're real good friends with her. And I don't know.
No reason for that. I mean,
And once I was with the farmer or the rancher, and he wanted some of these females taken off. When you go out and you look, there was 70-something giraffes on this farm, and you look, and their food's gone. They've cropped everything out, and
Can't even reach the tops
yeah,
anymore.
some of them's got to go. It's
it's no different than managing the whitetail. When you get too many, you've got to
Or
take
the
them.
elk herd in Yellowstone.
That's exactly right.
it just happens to be a giraffe. It's
You know, I find people don't care if you kill ugly animals, but it's the one. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
it's the
You
pretty
kill a
ones.
little deer or a cute little lion,
Bunny
or
rabbit.
cute little or giraffe. Though I mean, there's kill a pig. We don't care, or whatever.
Shoot all the warthogs.
Yeah,
you
shoot
can.
all the
They're-
warthogs you
they're
want,
ugly.
or a pig you
They're-
hear, or
they're
whatever.
ugly.
You won't never hear them complain about that. You can post 1,000 pictures of them, but put one giraffe on there, and that girl was very proud of
I
that
think-
young lady, I should
I
say.
think she got. I think she got a bunch of death threats
She did.
over it.
Well, it's kind of like the dentist that
got
killed
the
the lion that was not in the park, and it was 100% legal. They didn't know what they were shooting when they shot it. I mean, that man basically almost lost his business.
And that's the things that like Aubrey will talk about when he's over here. He'll tell us things like that they don't realize what happens when this country decided, well, okay, you can't go hunt lions anymore.
Yeah.
That kills their economy.
It does.
And that
I
hurts
agree.
everybody.
Kills his
That's the
family.
point I wanted to make.
All the way
These
down to
people
the-
need hunters coming.
Well, like Buck said, the orphanage that he supports, the halfway house for the drug addicts, all that stuff comes from all these hunters coming and taking these wild animals, and none of it comes back
Well,
to here.
and they'll protect those animals over there. They don't go poach them. They can make more
No.
money off of them.
they are more
the
upset
hunter
with the
coming in,
poachers
right.
because they don't get anything if somebody poaches.
That's right.
And people, they talk about the fence hunting over there. Well, if it wasn't for them, a lot of places there would be zero animals. We went in through a village, and we went through the village, and as soon as we hit some of the bush country, there's a steinbuck and a snare in the fence. So that the locals, they trap all the animals. So without the fences, a lot of them wouldn't be there. Back to Tess, I believe she had harvested a black giraffe, and that was one of the things that people were.
Is that what
griping
made it
about.
so bad?
I think. But anyways, on this trip, one of the guys with us, he took one as well.
That's a beautiful,
beautiful,
animal.
ain't it?
Beautiful.
That animal, they think was about 15 years old, 14 or 15 years old, and they didn't think that he was going to make it through the winter. So that's why he was.
So when you're there hunting this time of year, like what's the weather like?
We was in the 60s and 30s.
Okay, so it's winter.
Yes.
Yeah, they're just
When I got
opposite
off
of
the
us.
plane coming back in Atlanta, I couldn't breathe. Been over there for a month in nice temperatures.
That's what happened to me. I went to Argentina last December, right week before Christmas or week and a half before Christmas. It's summer. I flew out of here. It was cold. I got down there. It's 90 and felt just like, humid just like here. I about died, and then you turn around, come back, and you're back in wintertime again.
All right, all the way over there, I'd seen these one afternoon in a blind with my binoculars, and I had to harvest one. It's the closest thing to a turkey I could find.
Oh, a nice set of spurs. I don't know what you're showing me.
They call it a bush partridge, I believe.
Okay.
But
That's cool.
I seen them with binoculars, so I
need a set
I
of
had
those
to
feet
take
next time you come back. I like to have some. Just
All right.
lay them in my drawer with everything else going.
baby turkey.
Yeah, look at that. Look at this little tiny turkey.
Baby turkey.
I would
No,
say
it was-
midget, but that's
Can't say that no more.
oh, you can't say midget no more. Midget turkey, you can't say midget turkey. Oh, sorry, little people turkey.
Might be onto something.
Maybe so.
How many do y'all remember in Forrest Gump when they handed him the flashlight and the 45 pistol to
Oh,
go
yeah.
into the tunnel? Well, on this trip, I'd shot a warthog, and it got away, and his tracking dog run it into a hole, warthog hole, and my PH buddy's going in after it.
Why aren't you going in after it?
I couldn't pass up video in this one.
So they
But-
feel pretty good it's dead, or was it alive when he come dragging it out, or?
It was dead when he grabbed a hold of it, but I don't know if he knew it was dead.
Those
or
are pretty
what,
brutal
but
animals
they,
now.
They can be.
I wouldn't want to
can
be in that hole.
Uh-uh.
I'm out.
Well, that's like these people that in Alabama, Mississippi.
Oh, noodle-
I'm talking about the ones that go in them bear dens.
Oh, yeah.
Because our bears don't hibernate. And that's it. Every time they have to run them out, or they showed them. The gamekeepers had a video where they had rappelled up a tree and got in a hole with the mama and the babies.
No.
Not me.
I'm
no,
out.
sorry.
But when he went in, all I could think of was Forrest Gump.
How far down in did he have to go?
He was
Did his feet
about,
disappear?
about his knees.
Okay.
Yes.
Still something you could grab a hold of and pull him out.
The other guy
remains.
grabbed his feet and his belt.
You know, I'm
Helping
getting
him out.
I'm starting to build a profile here. You're here working while he's doing this. He's shooting animals, but the other guy's going in and getting them.
Yeah.
While the other guy's going to get them, there's another guy though going to pull him out.
Right.
I'm starting to get an idea of what's happening.
Well,
here.
Buck was busy
it
with the
is.
camera.
I see that. I see that. And I'm going to
But now Buck's the guy.
see who's got this camera over
Yeah.
here. He's toted it in.
Buck's the guy though that can get you anything you need. If you want an Africa hunt, he's going to get you the best Africa hunt there is.
You want a Huey helicopter? What color you want it in?
He knows somebody that can get you anything you need.
So we're going to give everybody y'all's contact information here
Give it
before
out.
long, and it'll be
Give it out.
whatever you need, whatever
Yeah,
just
whatever you need.
The
call
one-stop
Buck.
shop.
Yeah. Well,
need a
somebody-
gun
You're
deal?
going to have to call Clint, and then I'll leave a message.
Well, I'm
for
sorry.
Buck.
Yeah, call Clint, and he will get the message.
May have
Buck,
to send it to Africa or whatever.
or wherever you're at.
And somebody buy Buck's Jeep.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you selling a Jeep now?
Yeah, a 67, what is it?
CJ2.
67 Kaiser.
Yeah, Kaiser.
Is that on Facebook Marketplace?
Yep.
Yeah,
I
it is.
saw it. I've
Yeah.
seen that Jeep.
Yep, black
Yep.
Rhino line.
Okay. All right. I know what you're talking about. All right. Everybody knows. Hey,
Heck, if you're selling something, I'm selling boxer puppies. I got
there you go. Boxer puppies. Hey, we're all.
I've owned a bunch of them. Great dogs.
You need one.
No.
Got 7 squirrel
He's
dogs.
got 7
right now.
squirrel dogs right now. How many do you really need, though? How many would you have your wife would let you?
I would be at 2 dogs by the end of tonight. And then I would go and pick up a Belgian Malinois puppy and start raising another one of those.
A what kind of puppy?
Belgian Malinois.
Oh, what the heck is that?
I used
My
that.
condo, my police dog was.
Oh, okay.
I had
They don't treat
three
squirrels.
Malinois and 3 German Shepherds. I was on the K9 unit for 21 years.
That's if I would have stayed in as a deputy long enough. That was a goal of mine, but I owned a personal one.
My-
We trained.
My first father-in-law, he did everything at Birmingham. He was everything from the 60s till he retired in the 80s. But one of his big things, he was a K9 officer down there too. And of course, his dog was Black Boy was the name of it. I guess when they retired him, he came home with him. And
Yep.
I never met the dog, but I've seen thousands of pictures. And if you talk dogs, Black Boy came up.
A lot of the PHs over there, they run a Beagle Basset mix. That's their hunting dog.
That's a crazy combo, really.
But they're good little dogs. Very very well.
Don't eat
tempered.
much either, I guess. So that's effective.
But they're for tracking. No, I can see it. I can see that. They make a great deer tracking dog. I think if you want something slow to keep up with, and
Yeah, like me, I'm slower these
well,
days.
I'm a lot slower than I used to be. And it's like I tell people all the time, I don't hate deer like I used. I still hate turkeys now.
I hate turkeys pretty
I
much.
hate them. Somebody said, when you gonna shoot one with a bow? I said, well, I ain't shot enough with a shotgun yet.
Why would
When I get
wanna
tired
do
of
that
pulling the
when I
trigger,
can-
Too much go wrong with that bow hunting stuff.
if I just ran out of things to do and they couldn't make ammo no more, I might break out a bow, but I'm not gonna do it.
Me either.
No.
You shoot a different gun every year nearly. You got a new one ordered, right?
Well, I mean,
Wait a minute. Whoa.
it all goes back to
Wait a minute.
the
Am I supposed
870.
to say something?
No, you're good.
Okay. I got him in
it
trouble
always-
one night talking about something.
It always goes back to the 870 youth model. I can't seem to put it down.
One of the
He had one built last year. I guess they did
done
the
it.
work to it.
Yeah.
You know who owns it now? My son.
And they done the work on the 870.
Oh,
one of the guys is with us on this lion hunt. He's got one of the elephant permits for 26. Anyways, after he done went home, I was still over there, and he sends a message. He said, "There may be a 458 Win Mag show up on your steps. I need your FFL. He said, I can't take it home right now, but I need I need the gun for the help.
Now, do you do that too? People ship guns to you, so
We're
you
licensed
charge a
FFL.
fee, and
Yeah.
that's good to know because I don't know. What do you get now? What's the going rate? I'm sorry. Let me talk to the guy that's
Yeah.
there all the
Yeah.
time.
Talk to Clint.
Well, if you
Last time I had one done, it was like $35, but
and it's $30 usually is about
Okay.
the average price. But at WW Guns, I guess we just barely keep the lights on. We don't
Yeah.
charge most people to do an FFL transfer,
Especially if
they're
you
one of
know,
our customers.
well, that's what
that
I'm
we've
saying. If
done-
it's a customer, yeah, but
yeah, if
I called you out of the blue because I knew you were right there,
Right.
and I would expect it. I mean,
Yeah, if you
but
did-
if I was getting that gun to you anyway for you to do your
Right.
thing to,
And if
Right,
it's
we don't
people
charge.
that we've dipped for or Cerakoted for in the past, it's
yeah, we're not that type of business for
that was another thing when I first started this. It really blew up. I got super busy. Like I said, I went to SHOT Show like 4 years in a row.
I wanted to go out there.
I
want
was
to go
doing work for
not to work, just to look at it and see it.
what was it, Yankee Hill. Done a bunch of stuff for them,
Yeah.
but just lots of things. One of our projects got into Recoil magazine one time, but it got really big. I got really busy, and I looked up. I was at school all
cut
day.
in with his hunting time.
Oh yeah,
Well, but other than that, family time. I
is that when you came in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and I left. I left.
He ain't been back.
I left on a month-long turkey trip.
That's true.
But-
Well,
Yeah,
hey, if I could do it, I want to do it so bad. I've got 2 or less years, and I'm done.
But I would come home from school, and after football, I'd be in the shop 12, 1 o'clock at night, and didn't get to see the kids, and it. So I didn't like shut down, but I slowed way down, and that's about where we're at now.
Yeah.
Back then, I thought, hey, I need contracts, I need monthly work, I need.
We're pretty much now into the personal stuff, the one-offs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The biggest thing we do now that brings us in a lot of the stuff is the gun cleaning service that we offer, and that's
I mean,
the duck hunters love that.
we've got some duck hunters. They'll bring 5 or 6 shotguns in at the end of season.
Now do y'all gunsmith on them as well, or are you just clean and
Yeah, we can.
So you do gunsmithing work as well. Okay, so if you got a problem with your safety or you want a trigger adjusted, you guys can handle it.
Just put a thumb safety in a 1911 Taurus this morning before we come over here. So
It was a stainless. The gun was black, so we blasted it down, Cerakoted it to match the pistol, and dropped it off yesterday. He'll pick it up in the morning.
Wow.
Now, I'm usually not that fast,
But you're here.
yeah.
I know why you're not that fast.
Yeah,
You're turkey
because-
hunt for a month, or you're in
yeah.
Africa for a month.
Yeah.
well, then now football's going to start.
Now
in a minute,
football
so he's
start.
gonna be
Yeah, I
gone
guess.
for
Yeah,
that.
summer
So
practices are about to kick off, right?
And then crappie season in there.
Throw in crappie. I don't
Yeah.
have time for crappie unless
So
they're
when
biting
you
off
call,
the dock
just,
out here.
just ask for. Well, you don't have to ask for me because I'm going to be on the
You're
one.
You're going to
I'm gonna
answer
be
the phone, right?
anyway.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, y'all put out your contact info for the gun shop.
All right.
Well, our address is 1406 Kirby Bridge Road in Danville, Alabama, 35619. Our telephone number is 256-751-5911. And our website is under construction right now, but it's www.gunsinc.com.
Do you have a Facebook page?
We do, but I'm not smart
That's
enough
hard.
to work
Well, okay.
it.
Well, it's hard.
And they don't like
You got to be
guns.
very careful.
We can't put pictures
You know,
of guns and stuff like that.
We run Alabama Turkey Hunters page. We got 20-something thousand members, and you can't tell them enough. You can't sell guns. You can't even say firearm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't even. Sometimes they'll even go in there if they're talking about chokes. They'll knock it out, and then I get the ugly message.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you take my message? I didn't.
I didn't.
You just said it, and it triggered the right AI program or whatever it is, the algorithm they got.
We used to do Instagram and all that. And
Well, I mean, like we talked about TikTok, we done got 2 strikes against us right now because first thing I threw up was a dead turkey. I mean,
we're a
it wasn't
month
even.
in.
Yeah, and then I think you did on the next your first video got took down. On what you had on it, I never got to see it.
I don't even remember.
All I know is I can go through there and see you got 2 strikes. I'm going, well, dude, damn, 2 strikes. I mean, they got not full naked women running around and all kinds of perversion.
But don't mention
Look,
Don't
look. If
mention
it was
guns or
you
show a
can't don't
harvest.
talk. Yeah, if it's tasteful, okay. Don't no gross, slaughtered up, cut up things, blowing up like they do pigs and stuff. You talking about, but a tasteful picture of you and your deer holding it up, or your turkey, or
Especially
your
if you got
lion, or what? I mean,
your son or your
this
grandson.
is just
or your
it's a
granddaughter.
hard no in TikTok world.
That's
Which is weird. I thought that Chinese have all these wet markets. I mean,
that's another
Well,
thing
yeah,
I've
that's true. I
learned.
heard about those.
Learned over in Africa with my PH. They take pride in their hunting, but he takes pride in after the hunt with the pictures, the care of the animal. There's a box on the back of the truck, and it's got 2 or 3 different kinds of brushes in it and big bottles of water. But he cleans these animals before he takes the pictures of them.
Well, that's the way
it.
Well, first off, it makes it look so much nicer.
Yes.
I know people get excited, and I've done the same thing. You can go through some of my pictures and old deer tongues hanging out and blood running down its side. But I used to hunt with a guy and actually help him guide a little bit down in Foster's, Alabama. It was Black Warrior Hunting Service. I don't even know if they're in business anymore, but he taught me, you take care of the tongue, you wipe down the blood, you comb them out.
Yep.
I mean, I never even thought about brushing a deer hide, but but yeah, I mean, he took a lot of care to that and the angles of taking pictures. And I mean, just,
And also I've figured out kind of like, tracking a wounded deer. I can track somebody else's deer better than I can track mine. And it seems like I can take care of somebody's animal for pictures and whatever better than what I do mine. It's just,
yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe track him when you're more excited is
I
yours.
think it is. I think it is.
I don't know. I thought I would enjoy doing that for him, and I did. I used to carry a lot of customers, this guy. But he would just say, hey, I got a big group coming in. Could you come in? Basically, I was a driver, I knew where all the stands were, so.
Right.
And then I would go sit in the stand and count deer or whatever. I didn't get to hunt them. And that wasn't too much fun for me then.
Next June, I'm carrying my son back. That's going to be his graduation trip. He's going to get to hunt a good bit.
So you're a senior? All right.
And he's in school in Talladega, Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind.
I had a couple of cousins graduated from there.
Then also a good friend of mine from high school, his boy's same age as Buckley. He's going with us. They're going to be there for 10 days, and then we've got a group of 9 coming in for 14 days that it's going to be a big group to handle.
So you'll be there. You're going to be there.
Another month.
Are you going to be with him the whole time?
Just half of the trip.
Okay. Oh,
First 10
I know where
days.
you're going to
Yeah,
be.
I don't even ask.
Yeah, you'll be. Yeah. So, if there's anybody that wants to get in touch, what's the name of the kids organization?
Kids Outdoors.
Kids Outdoors.
Carol Clark.
Harold Clark. If they want to
Great lady.
Yes.
maybe have a child that needs that, or want to donate
Or if
a
they-
hunt, or
if they know
donate
somebody that has a child that
money,
needs it,
or
yeah.
I mean, that's how. Is it? They got a web page.
They do.
Okay.
They do. There's a
Same thing?
website. Yep. You can go on. You can. There's a place you can sign up for donations. You can sign up to be a guide. You can sign up.
So they're looking for volunteers and all kinds of things.
Always.
That's something we need to really check into.
Yeah.
That
And
kind of
they
thing.
put on at least one show or foundation.
Especially them being right in
They
Calera. I didn't
do.
know it even existed.
Me either.
They do a big youth hunt every year, and they have a banquet down there in Calera. Another thing that they do is Soggy Bottom Lodge in Linden, Alabama.
Heard of it?
They,
Yeah.
they have
I've
a
heard
big
of it.
thing in the summer there that they do. And then there's chapters. I don't even know where all the chapters are, but I know there's one in Kentucky. There's a
So they're not just from in Alabama.
Right.
They're all
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Well, of course,
They're
I guess
starting
so.
to
If they're
spread more,
doing things all the way to
there's
Africa, I mean,
there's a Florida chapter. There's they've got several chapters.
because some friends of ours do some things. What is it, KT?
KT team.
KT team, and they help kids with disabilities and terminal illnesses and that kind of things. But get them out in the woods and let them hunt.
Kind of back to my guy in Africa, the donations to the people and everything. This time when we were there, he loaded me up. We went to like a hardware store and we bought a washing machine. What are we doing with the washing machine? He said, just, you'll see. He took me into this old rough beat down area, and there was a family, actually 4 families living in this house, and they were still hand washing clothes.
Wow.
But that's where a lot of our monies go over there, is to help those type people.
Well, good deal.
What if they're interested in the Africa hunt?
They can call me at that same shop number or 256-612-0849, and I can help them out.
You can tell them and give them all the information they need.
I can send them that way.
You know all the pricings and that
I
kind
do.
of thing.
I do.
Of course, I hear getting there and getting back is, I'm sorry, yes, I'm sorry. The man to your left will answer the phone and get the message to you. I know how
Sorry,
I
not
see how it's
sorry.
going.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, no, he's not. He doesn't bother him a bit.
You know, we might ride up there and visit, will you? I know you get lonely up there
I
all by
do.
yourself
I
all the
do.
time. So
Well, now wait a minute. You got to be there before 12 because he goes home every day at 12.
I try to get
well, I
out of
don't
there
blame
by-
him now. I mean, who's there to tell him not to?
That's right.
He's the boss.
Yeah.
So,
He's the boss.
well, I guess we've been rolling this about an hour or so now. So, is there anything we've missed? So you need to, people need to know about hydro dipping or cerakoting or Africa hunting.
If they got any
or-
questions, just give us a call.
Give us a
Or
call and
come by and see us.
sit down with us, and we'll go through the whole process with you.
Yeah.
and show you how everything works. There's no real secrets to it.
A lot of places tell you there are, but
Yeah.
we
Well,
don't
I mean,
hide
but I
anything.
mean, I may be the guy that walks in with my pistol and just says, "What can you do to this?" And you can show them the different things, or say,
Absolutely.
"This will work great," or "What do?" You might want this cerakoted if you're rougher than the normal average guy that would
Absolutely.
get something hydro dipped.
Another question or another thing when people call, they a lot of times they want a price, like an exact price. Sometimes that's hard to do, especially with like our duck hunter guys. If I have to spend 2 extra hours just cleaning their shotgun before I can process it, I've got
Well,
to
yeah.
charge a little. So we kind of give a roundabout estimate and try to tell everybody that it could go up or down, a little bit from that.
Well, in that you get that free safety inspection.
Yeah. Then the biggest one is sometimes the hydro guns that come in that they're all chipped and they're and they have to be stripped completely down, all the way down to the base layers, and then that's a lot of extra time. So
we offer what we think is probably one of the better warranties around. Pretty much we've had duck hunters, turkey hunters, deer hunters, 3-gun shooters bring their product back to us, and you can see they've dropped it out of their side by side or rolled it off the duck boat, and bounced it off the rocks. We fix it for them. We don't charge them for it.
You can touch that up pretty easy,
we
or
redip the whole, or redo the whole thing.
whatever.
sometimes we have to
never
be
asked
doing
for
the whole
that.
thing for them. So
I dropped a pair of my Swarovski binoculars one time, and I sent them back. I mean, it collapsed the eyepieces in, and I told them, I said, I'm not looking for warranty. I know I did it, that, but they fixed it for free. I mean, it was like, no,
and we keep
So you
customers
can't
that
ask.
way. We
That's
think.
that's exactly how you keep a customer. You're going to come back.
Yeah, we know that they're going to get used, and we'd love to see them get used. We want them to be used. We don't want them to be put in a safe or hung on a wall so everybody can say that looks cool. We want our guys to go out and gals to go out and hunt and
Well, you
three-gun
want
shoot.
somebody to go, hey,
Beat 'em up.
where'd you get that done at? You
Right,
know, yeah.
right.
So,
But we'll take care of you. Just give us a call.
Yeah.
and people anywhere in the country ship to
Oh
you?
yeah,
They can ship
We're
straight
licensed
to us.
FFL. You can ship it legally to us, and we'll ship it back to the original sender at the original sender's address.
I got caught in that one time.
It's
I shipped a shotgun off for warranty. It was Birmingham, no, whatever they are. The one down in Hoover, where I forget. I hadn't been, it made me mad. But anyway, to get it back, they made me run a background check again. I went, wait a minute. The factory told me to bring it to you guys. Yeah. I bought it. I forgot where I bought it, but it really ticked me off. But I guess that's something the FFL, I mean, you have to do.
there. If there's a question, it's for an FFL.
Well, it's to cover
it's
your
always
butt.
safer
Yeah.
to cover yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's nice, isn't it?
That is a nice picture.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, I don't know what I owe him, but I'm sure it'll come back. You know how I know
feel you.
he's going to go, hey, you know
Buddy work.
that picture I bought you. And then he got it for me for Father's Day, which really made me feel bad. I don't know that I didn't date his mama or anything, as far as I know.
No, yeah, right. Yeah.
And,
You're just
we're
old
not-
enough to be my dad.
He told a guy in Oklahoma at a hotel, we're just getting a room for me and my dad. So the guy would shut up and quit asking questions. I'm going, I'm not that much older. I guess I am. So anyway, I guess we need to bring this thing in. Everybody's going to need to hit the bed. I got to go to work tomorrow. You got to go to work. He's got to sleep late.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's still getting adjusted from the time change. And
I'm just about back.
yeah, that's a big
It's,
time change over
8
there.
8
Yeah,
hours.
yeah. I know I've been to Ireland, Scotland, a couple of places like that, Greece, and yeah, it's biggest thing is getting used to the time. Don't go to
back.
sleep that first day. That's what they tell you, man. It's hard.
Well, we appreciate you guys having
Yeah,
us on.
thank
Hey,
you.
I've
you for
enjoyed it.
having
I've
us.
learned so much, and we're definitely gonna.
If anybody has questions, just reach out to us and
Or reach out to you guys and
Yeah,
or
we'll
reach
put
out
you in
to
touch.
Clint,
So, yeah,
'cause
reach out to
according,
Clint.
But according to you three, I'm never there. But
Well, I'm just going by a month turkey hunting. Well, actually more than a
Dustin,
month.
you ever seen him there?
Once.
Was he broke down, had a flat tire or something?
Clint couldn't make me.
Oh, okay. All right. Clint sick or something? I mean, just couldn't get
It
there?
was
All
after
right.
12.
Yeah, it was after 12.
Oh, after 12. Okay.
Or dealing with my 93-year-old dad.
So there you go. I got an 82-year-old, and they're a handful.
Oh,
They're a handful.
but I'm glad he's still here with me to make my days miserable.
We just took mine deep sea fishing. He didn't make it but an hour and a half on the 8-hour trip, but
Hey,
I told
but
him,
he
I
did it.
said, we'll go again next year if you want to get on the boat.
Well, my dad was airborne in the Korean War and with the 11th Airborne. I told him if he makes 100, I'll do a tandem jump with him
There you go.
because he says he always wanted to do it again before he dies. Well, I told him that. He says, I don't know if I won't make that 100 now.
Oh, that should be something to make the drive to get there, you know.
I think he would enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, didn't George Bush's first Bush, he jumped out. I don't know how old he was. I don't know if he's 100 or he was close.
It was 90 something.
90 something. So, yeah.
well, guys, once again, thank y'all for
Hey,
having us.
hey, I appreciate you guys coming.
enjoyed it.
Enjoyed sitting around talking.
You got anything else you want to talk about?
I'm good.
Seeing, I guess, once again, we'll just kind of say we're going to be at the World Deer Expo walking around. We don't have no booth or nothing. Are you going to be there? You got a booth. You're not going to be there. You'll be there, but yeah.
Fishing.
Oh, okay. What about you, Clint? He got you working the
No, I don't think he's got me scheduled.
you
for
know,
that
I'm
one.
not so sure that wouldn't be a good booth to have. I mean, as many deer hunters and
I
stuff
think-
come
I think
through.
the only thing
it's ridiculously high to get a
Yeah.
booth.
I have this summer is there's a big fundraiser down in Talladega for AIDB. We've donated a African hunt to them to raffle off or auction off. I think that's the only thing.
We're going to be
we've
down
got.
there. We got a turkey calling contest that we're going to be at. What is that? August 3rd. We actually have she don't know she's a team member, but she'll be wearing meat and two. And I'm sorry, might not even be a she. I'm sorry, Alex, you didn't hear that. But she's going to put a hurting on some Talk About It Outdoor boy. He's a big lover of Dave Owens. I mean, he's got a man crush on that guy. I've never seen anybody like it. I give him a hard time about it, but man, when you walk by him and he's drooling, I mean, what do you do? I mean, there's nothing else you can do.
Yeah,
But,
you know.
and he's the kind of guy that he goes 100%, 150%. He's turkey calling now. He is really good on the trumpet.
Oh yeah.
I've never been able to run a trumpet, and he can do it. So, but he's not gonna beat her. I don't care if they're second to last and last. He's gonna be last. She's gonna jump him. So just putting it out there right now. But we'll be there, and then we're going to their bow shoot. They got a big bow shoot coming up in August as well, isn't it?
Following weekend.
Well, you got a mouthful of spit? What's the matter, buddy? You got to quit dipping or get you a spit cup while we're over here. Alex spits in his cup all the time. Even the live auctions. Get on up and do it. We've heard you truck across the floor. Anyway, all right, we're going to get on out of here. Let everybody get on home. My wife is done texting me. The ribs are on the grill. She ain't got to eat yet, so
Okay.
we're going to get out of here. And I guess until next week, y'all be safe. We'll
Sounds
talk to you
good.
soon.
Thank you again.
Thank you again.
You're welcome.